first student in my room came in and said, "Hey, Elliot, they shot that king last night." "Why'd they shoot that king?" I said, "We're going to talk about that." So we talked about it, and I could tell by the way my students were talking that the words that they were using at home, that their fathers were using at home about this horrible thing, were not the words that my father would use. They weren't the words that my father did use. And I said, "Wait a minute. You kids have any idea how it would feel to be black?" "No." "Would you like to know?" "Yeah, yeah." "Would you like to do something today that will help you know?" "Yeah, yeah." It was like, oh boy, this will be fun. Because everything we did in that room was fun. Because I think you have to get kids involved in what they're doing. I had no idea how ugly it was going to be. I had no idea that I could tell my brown-eyed children that they were brighter than the blue-eyed children because they had more melanin in their eyes. I had no idea that little brown-eyed Debbie sitting in the front row that day would look up at me while I was talking to them and say, "How come you're the teacher here if you've got them blue eyes?" And I had no idea that I would think, "Well, you little..."
Oh.
And I watched my third graders in that classroom in Riceville, Iowa, become a microcosm of society. I watched my little third grade kids behave in ways that they had learned to behave because of the way they had been raised and because of the way they had been educated and because of the way they had been taught in the church as well as in the school. I watched kids who were loving and kind and generous. The day before, when they were brown-eyed, they became greedy, judgmental, obnoxious, little powerful, racist little monsters. I didn't like them very well by the end of that day, and they didn't like me very well either, because I was absolutely amazed at how willing they were to go along to get along.